Back again with the Hellanor Mustang. It's the project Mustang for the channel. Just acquired it. I don't know if you guys saw the first video or two, but we traded the Silverado in on it. So we got the car, and today we're going to do the minimum stuff, minimum maintenance, put some fresh synthetic oil in it. I'm going to bleed the hydraulics, the clutch out to just get all fresh fluids in the car. And then I talked about how we're putting 2 stages of nitrous on it, a dry setup for a small shot, and then we're going to be coming in with like 100 wet shot if it gets a little more serious. And one of the first things I want to do, other than changing the fluids, is put the Wideband O2 sensor in so that we can keep an eye on things, make sure we're getting enough fuel, make sure nothing leans out on the nitrous or anything crazy like that. If anything, we're probably going to be running a little ridge. And so that's pretty much it. I'm going to proceed to jack up the car, and we're going to get started on it. One of the little trickier things about putting the Wideband O2 sensor is you have to weld a bung into the exhaust to be able to put your sensor in there. I've got a little Hobart welder that we're going to do that with, and as you can see right out here, just in the gravel, we're not in a shop or anything. This is all stuff that can be done out of your yard, and I'm going to show you what you need to do it. I'm going to get the car jacked up, and I'll check back with you guys in a minute. Here, we got the oil drained out of it, and we got the new Castrol GTX Magnatech 520. It's full synthetic, so you want to run a good brand name stuff. This was on sale, whatever brand you're particular to or can afford, but it's good to have full synthetic on these in the right weight. Runs a real low viscosity oil in here, and I went with just Motorcraft for the filter. Update on the clutch fluid. I was having a common problem where it's a little sticky getting into first in the morning, and I looked it up. I'm new to this car, so there is no bleeder on it, but what I'm going to do is rig up a cap so I can put a pressure bleeder, vacuum bleeder on the top. But what this car really needs, I pulled the cap, and you can see moisture on the cap, so the brake fluid, it shares the same master cylinder as the brake fluid. So what's going on, the reason I'm a little sticky in first in the morning, common problem on these cars, but in my case, it's just going to be the fluid needs to be swapped out. So the easiest thing for me is just going to be get a turkey baster, suck all the old fluid out, let it cycle a few times, do that a couple times until the system's clean, and it'll make my clutch disengage a lot better since it's a shared system. And so that's where I'm at with it right now. About to top off the oil, and hopefully we'll get all this basic maintenance done and make sure everything's good on the car, all fresh fluids, and then we can start putting on our nitrous. So I'll catch up with you guys in a little bit. So next update, guys, we're right here. We've got all the new oil in the car, and I'm going to be working next to put our wideband sensor in. It's super important so that when we're on the nitrous, we know what's going on, make sure we're getting enough fuel. One of the more, I guess, intricate parts of it, putting in the sensor, probably the hardest part of doing it is if you don't have any extra O2 ports or O2 bungs in the exhaust, you have to weld one in. So it does take a welder to do it. It's best to have the unit bit so you can drill a bigger hole, but I'll be able to get it in there with this. Basically, I've got a little 110 portable Hobart welder that I'm going to use. So it does take a little bit of equipment, a good drill, a good bit to be able to put that in there. And then this sensor will be obviously setting the information up to our gauge in the car, so we know what our air fuel ratios are. So I'm going to start getting geared up to install that in there, and I'll check back with you guys in a second. I'm down here doing the hardest part of the Wideband O2 install, and that's getting the bung into the exhaust. I've got an approximate hole drilled right here. You have to be before the catalytic converter so it gives it the true reading. You don't have to have a hole big enough to put the bung all the way in. You can also flush mount it and it'll still work good. So that's it. I'm going to start trying to get it tacked in place. It's a little tough because I don't have much room down here, so let me try to see if I can get this puppy started. We threw the breaker already. We tripped the breaker a second ago. We're plugged in on an extension cord right now, but we got it going again. And right now, I'm going to try to button up a couple welds to get our Wideband O2 sensor bung
installed on the driver's side bank over here. So it's real tough to reach down here, so might not be pretty. Let me see if I can get a couple welds on it. Okay. See if I can get it from another angle. It's always tough welding underneath a car like this in cramped spaces, but okay, well, it ain't pretty. We can always grind that down a little bit later on, get some of the rid of the extra material. But I got one more weld to button up on the inside. Let me get that buttoned up, and then I'll start talking about what it's going to take to get the rest of the system in there. I'll see you guys in a second. We got the O2 port welded in right here, and hopefully we have enough room to clear the chassis and everything. Looks like we do. Our sensor will go in like such. If I can get it started here. That threads in right there, and that will give us at least a reading on one of the banks. You know, if you have no way to put a single one at a H pipe or X pipe with no, if you have cats, you know, you have to have it before them so it gets accurate reading. So you'd almost have to have a dual bank, a dual wideband system to get readings off both. The only other way for me is to get readings on both banks at the same time is if I took out the cats and put it down by the H pipe, you know. But for now, this will work. It'll at least give us an idea of what our motor's doing on the nitrous. And so that's it. It's in there. It's all sealed up. And we'll move up range here in a second, and I'll show you guys how I'm going to do the rest of the system. So we'll catch up with you guys in a minute. On to the next step. We've got the bung and the wideband O2 sensor installed in the exhaust, and so temporarily I'm going to be running just this kind of universal dual pod gauge. I don't really want to do any drilling on my panel, so I'm probably just going to stick it on with 3M until I can get one that's kind of made a little more appropriate for the Mustang. But this will mount up there, and as you can see, we have our innervate air-fuel ratio in there. All the electronics are basically like built into it. This plug is ultimately going to run down to our sensor, and you just got to give it power, ground, a few things like that. Not like a super big deal. So I'm going to go ahead and get this mounted in there. This was borrowed out of the Camaro temporarily, so as my boost gauge. Obviously I don't have boost, but we're just going to leave that in there right now to fill the spot. And so it should look pretty cool. It needs a little cleaning, but that's pretty much it. That's where we're going to have it in there. It's a pretty simple system. You put the sensor in the exhaust, and then run your cables up to the unit, and you know, give it the power, switch power and ground. And so yeah, that's pretty much about it. So let me get this installed, and I'll check back with you guys and show you guys the finished product and how to calibrate the system. Guys, getting towards the final part of the install, I still have to solder up the wires and finish buttoning up the wiring properly, but this is ultimately the gauge pod that'll be mounted up on our pillar right here. I reset the battery in the car, so it actually looks like it's idling a little lean, but you know, it's hard to say. It could still be just trying to adjust from when I reset the battery. And so yeah, that's pretty much it. It's in there. I still gotta, you know, solder the wires and mount the gauge pod up here, but it's getting dark outside, so I'm gonna try to get the car back together to where it's drivable. And I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow on the next part of the install. I didn't have time today to get quite to putting on the nitrous, but we're gonna try to button up the rest of this, and then we'll check back in with you guys tomorrow. All right, peace.